Have you ever wondered where your hard-earned tax dollars actually go? In this video, we'll unveil the destinations of your taxes, showing you exactly where they're allocated and how they impact society.
TecXpansion.
If you pay attention to anything that goes on in the US, you know that you get taxed every single time on any purchase you make. You can buy groceries, clothes, pay bills, or even get work done on your car, and you'll see on your receipt that you paid taxes for your purchase. That means if you buy a candy bar, depending on what state you're in, you can pay up to about 10% in sales tax alone. So if you're the kind of person that likes to pay an exact change, good luck to you. So where does all this money go after the state and Fed eats up all that extra change? Well, government-funded programs, of course. I mean, take your pick. You've got SNAP or WIC for food and cash assistance. There's assistance for paying utility bills, rent, getting a free phone, getting heavily discounted or free housing, and even medical care. Not to mention Social Security and disability benefits for those who meet the strict qualification guidelines. Anyone who has gone through that process knows that you pretty much play a waiting game while also jumping through hoops to get assistance. Or the flip side, where some people are basically automatically approved with almost no questions asked. Even schools, jails, our military, and infrastructure projects are funded using taxpayer dollars. Oh, and don't forget that the US is $33 trillion in debt. So the obvious solution to this issue would be to use hardworking citizens' monies to fund non-working citizens, right? In 2022, the United States federal government spent $1.19 trillion on more than 80 different welfare programs. That's almost 20% of the total federal spending for that year, and is equivalent to around $9,000 per household. Mind you, they only collected a measly $5 trillion in revenue compared to the hefty amount of debt that's carried. Income and payroll are the primary sources of revenue, which go mostly into healthcare, Social Security, and defense. I know what you're thinking, but these programs do help people. And sure, that can be true. There are always some people that need these kinds of programs, and because of this, on the outside it looks great. But on the inside, the system is so heavily abused, it's sickening. I mean, I'm sure you've heard about it. Especially in low-income communities, government-funded programs are usually the primary source of income. Because people realize that the government will help them, and even more if there are children involved, they take advantage of these programs heavily. Procreation wasn't meant to make you money, yet somehow it does. If some people don't qualify for cash assistance, they may go to lengths such as selling their food stamps, or allowing someone else to use their food assistance benefits in exchange for cash equivalent to the amount spent on groceries. By selling their food stamps, it puts a little extra cash in their pocket. Now, it's stated almost everywhere that this is highly illegal, and you can and will be fined if found out. Does that stop anyone though? Nope. Instead of getting a job and working hard to make sure their children that they chose to have are well-fed and have warm, safe homes to live in, they abuse these systems that our tax money funds year-round. So you're basically paying for the laziest people and their entire family to not be homeless and hungry, while you're out there being overworked and underpaid. Good deal, right? Sure, if you're lazy. Or there's the people that refuse to work a job and only use these programs to get them by. For example, with utility assistance, there are certain requirements that need to be met that vary within each state. Many people will make sure they meet those exact requirements, or may not pay their bills on purpose in order to obtain the help they could get all on their own if they simply tried to. Of course, there's always good, hardworking people that fall into unfortunate situations and do actually need assistance, but this isn't what we're talking about here. Some people go to even greater lengths and will file for disability or Social Security benefits in order to receive cash assistance. Even for people that are in good health, maybe not perfect health, but still healthy enough to work, will not. It's understandable if you actually are disabled and cannot work, or are elderly and need these kinds of programs, but again, this isn't about you. This is for the people that abuse the system. I have a question for you, and if you are one of these people, because you know who you are, give us a response in the comments. Why is it fair to us hardworking people that do not qualify for these programs, whether it be due to making too much money or whatever the case may be, to struggle? The people that could actually use these programs most of the time do not qualify for them, but the people that refuse to do anything to help themselves get the most? Doesn't that make you angry, people? Why should we have to scrape by, deteriorate our mental and physical health on a weekly basis in order to survive? Meanwhile, there's people out there sitting on their back ends living their best life. I can almost guarantee that if these programs up their requirements and set limitations regarding how much support someone can receive, many of the people that do abuse the system would suddenly stop, or they wouldn't qualify. Is your social media content or business logo in need of a vibrant makeover? Are you on the hunt for fresh and inspiring designs that authentically represent your brand? Level up your style and get inspired with PG Designs. We specialize in crafting stunning logos, graphics, and more, all uniquely designed to suit your needs. With a focus on precision, real communication, and timely delivery, PG Designs is your go-to for all things graphic. For more information, I'll provide a link in the description. They might tell you that you have to get a job, but it's pretty much an empty threat, because if you look at unemployment rates, it really paints a pretty clear picture. Plus, these people aren't losing their benefits. They're not being restricted for abusing the system or using it for years at a time because it's easier to get free shit. They think they might lose their benefits? Well, time to have another baby, because kids cost money. They know that, the government knows that, so if you can't afford to take care of yourself, plus your multitude of children, the government will have your back. Just keep that in mind while you're sitting at your meaningless job for 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. So, final question. Why do we pay these taxes? We already know, but let's take it to Google for an official answer. CapitalOne.com states that taxes are mandatory payments made by people and businesses that help fund government services at the federal, state, and local level. Tax revenue pays for things like Social Security and Medicare, education, national defense, infrastructure, and other goods and services intended to benefit the community. Notice that these taxes are mandatory, and the U.S. Supreme Court nor any other federal court have ever ruled that paying these taxes are unconstitutional. Just try to wrap that around your head, because I'm going to repeat it one more time. Your hard-earned tax dollars, all the local, state, and federal taxes you pay on everything you buy, is going to the programs that enable the behaviors of the laziest citizens. Think about it for a while, and leave your take on this topic in the comments below. I hope you learned something from this video, and if you want to see more content like this, hit the subscribe button. Be sure to leave a like and tap the bell to be notified when a new video drops. Thanks!
TecXpansion.